The Australian outback, a place of raw beauty, ancient whispers, and a silence so profound it resonates in your soul. Maya, a young woman with a thirst for adventure, felt this call deep within her. Leaving behind city life, she embarked on a journey to the heart of this sun-scorched land. Her backpack, laden with supplies and hope, felt heavier with each step. Driven by an insatiable curiosity, Maya ventured deeper into the outback. The red earth stretched out before her, a canvas painted in hues of ochre and burnt orange. The sky, a vast and endless blue, seemed to stretch on forever. Days melted into one another, marked only by the rising and setting of the sun. The outback began to work its magic on Maya. She encountered other travelers, kindred spirits drawn to the same magnetic pull. The vastness of the landscape filled her with a profound sense of awe. As she neared Uluru, its presence loomed larger with every passing mile. This sandstone monolith was more than just a rock formation. It was a sacred site for the Anangu people. Maya felt a sense of reverence washing over her as she approached. She was but a speck on the canvas of this ancient land. Uluru held the promise of unveiling secrets, offering a glimpse into the soul of Australia. The journey to reach Uluru had been long and arduous, but it was merely the prelude to an even greater adventure. As Maya drew closer, the true scale of Uluru began to unfold. The sheer magnitude of the rock formation was humbling. The setting sun cast long shadows, painting Uluru in a kaleidoscope of colors. From deep reds to vibrant ochres, the rock seemed to shimmer with the changing light. It was a mesmerizing spectacle that stirred something deep within Maya's soul. Standing before this ancient monolith, Maya felt a sense of awe. This wasn't just a geological formation, it was a sacred site where the earth whispered its secrets. The air around Uluru seemed to crackle with energy. Maya could almost feel the weight of history, the echoes of countless generations. The silence was filled with the whispers of the ancients, stories etched into the fabric of this sacred place. She closed her eyes, trying to absorb the atmosphere, to connect with the spirit of Uluru. Opening her eyes, Maya noticed the intricate details of the rock formations, each groove holding a story. Seeking a deeper understanding, Maya joined a group of Aboriginal guides, the Anangu people. Their knowledge of Uluru and its surrounding landscape was profound, passed down through generations. The guides welcomed Maya with warmth, their eyes reflecting a deep connection to their ancestral land. As they shared their stories, Maya realized that Uluru was the embodiment of their history, culture, and spiritual beliefs. As the guide spoke, Maya began to see Uluru with new eyes. It was a living, breathing entity, imbued with the spirits of their ancestors. They shared stories of the creation beings who had shaped the land during the dream time. Maya listened intently, her heart swelling with a newfound appreciation for the depth of Aboriginal culture. As the sun began its final descent, bathing Uluru in a warm golden light, Maya felt a profound sense of peace. The stories she had heard, the connection she felt to the land and its people, had touched her deeply. She watched in awe as the colors of the rock shifted with the changing light. As darkness enveloped the landscape, a million stars twinkled to life above. Maya felt a sense of awe and wonder that words could scarcely describe. As twilight deepened, the desert air grew cooler. The sky above transformed into a vast, inky canvas sprinkled with a million twinkling stars. Maya joined the Anangu people around a crackling campfire. A hush fell over the group as an elder began to speak. His voice, low and melodic, seemed to weave itself into the very fabric of the night. Maya felt a deep respect for the cultural knowledge being shared. The stories spoke of the dream time, a time beyond time when ancestral beings walked the earth. They described how Uluru and its surrounding rock formations were formed by these powerful beings. The elder spoke of serpents who carved out rivers and valleys, and rainbow serpents who brought life-giving rain. The stories were about connection, the interconnectedness of all things. As she listened, Maya felt a profound sense of awe and wonder. The crackling of the fire, the distant howl of a dingo, the gentle murmur of the wind, all of it seemed to blend together. Maya closed her eyes, letting the stories wash over her. She realized that the stories were not just about the past but were very much alive in the present. The ancestors were still present, whispering their wisdom through the wind. Maya felt a sense of interconnectedness with all living things. As the night wore on and the fire began to die down, Maya felt a sense of peace settle over her. The stories had touched something deep within her, awakening a longing to connect with something larger than herself. She looked around at the faces of the Anangu people, illuminated by the flickering firelight. As she drifted off to sleep, Maya felt a sense of gratitude for the opportunity to learn from the Anangu people. The first rays of dawn painted the eastern sky in hues of rose and gold. A hush fell over the campsite as the group prepared for their ascent of Uluru. Maya felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. The climb was considered sacred by the Anangu people. She adjusted her backpack, feeling the weight of expectation. The guides led them to the base of Uluru, now bathed in the soft light of dawn. As they began their ascent, Maya felt a sense of reverence wash over her. The climb was steep and challenging, the rock face often smooth and slippery. Maya found herself relying on her upper body strength, using her hands as much as her feet. The physical exertion was demanding, but it was the mental challenge that surprised her. Doubts crept in during moments of fatigue, whispers of uncertainty questioning her ability to reach the summit. Inspired by the strength and determination of the Anangu people, Maya dug deep. She would not be deterred. She would reach the summit, not just for herself, but for all those who had come before her. As they climbed higher, the views became increasingly spectacular. The vast expanse of the desert stretched out before them, a sea of red sand dunes and spinifex grasslands, dotted with the occasional acacia tree clinging tenaciously to life. The air was clear and crisp, the silence broken only by the cry of a hawk circling overhead. Maya paused for a moment, catching her breath, and looked back at the path they had climbed. The trail snaked its way up the rock face, a testament to the ingenuity and determination of the Anangu people, who had carved out this route centuries ago. She imagined them making this same climb, their bare feet treading lightly on the sacred rock. With each step upward, Maya felt a sense of timelessness wash over her. The worries and distractions of her everyday life seemed to fall away, replaced by a sense of awe and wonder at the sheer scale and beauty of the natural world. She was just a small speck on the face of this ancient monolith, a fleeting visitor in a place where time seemed to stand still. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, they reached the summit. Maya stood on top of Uluru, the wind whipping her hair around her face, and gazed out at the breathtaking panorama that unfolded before her. The world seemed to stretch out forever, a boundless expanse of desert and sky. She had never felt so small, so insignificant, and yet so connected to something vast and ancient. The air was thin at this altitude, and she took deep breaths, filling her lungs with the clear desert air. A sense of exhilaration washed over her, a mix of triumph and gratitude for having made it to this sacred place. She closed her eyes, feeling the warmth of the sun on her face and the wind tugging at her clothes. She thought of the Anangu people, who believed that the spirit of the world resided within Uluru, and she understood why they considered this place to be so sacred. It was as if she could feel the pulse of the earth beneath her feet, the ancient energy of the rock flowing up through her body. Opening her eyes, Maya looked around at the other hikers who had made the climb. They came from all walks of life, different backgrounds, different cultures, yet in that moment, they were united by a shared experience, a shared sense of awe and wonder. They had all pushed themselves beyond their perceived limits, and in doing so, they had discovered something profound within themselves. The summit of Uluru was not just a place of physical achievement, it was a place of spiritual awakening, a place where the boundaries between self and other seemed to dissolve, leaving only a sense of profound connection to the natural world and to all living things. As they began their descent, Maya carried with her a newfound appreciation for the power and majesty of the natural world, and a deep respect for the Anangu people, who had been the guardians of this sacred land for millennia. She knew that the memory of this experience, the feeling of standing on top of the world, would stay with her long after she had left Uluru and returned to the familiar rhythms of her own life. The sun began its slow descent, casting long dancing shadows across the desert as Maya and her fellow travelers made their way back to camp. The air, still warm from the day's heat, took on a gentle, almost ethereal quality as the sky transformed into a canvas of fiery hues. The day's adventure, the challenging climb, the breathtaking views from atop Uluru, it all began to settle in Maya's mind, each experience a brushstroke in the grand masterpiece of her journey. Back at camp, a welcoming campfire crackled merrily, its flames reaching skyward as if trying to touch the first stars that began to pepper the rapidly darkening sky. The aroma of roasting vegetables and campfire smoke filled the air, a sensory symphony that spoke of comfort and camaraderie. Laughter and snippets of conversation, hushed tones recounting the day's triumphs and challenges, filled the space, weaving a tapestry of shared experience. Maya found herself drawn to a group huddled near the fire, their faces animated as they shared stories of their encounters with the outback. There was a palpable sense of connection between them, a bond forged through shared adventure and a deep appreciation for the raw beauty of their surroundings. Each tale, told with a mix of humor and awe, revealed the transformative power of the journey, the way the outback had a way of stripping away pretense and revealing the raw essence of those who dared to venture within its embrace. As the last rays of sunlight faded, casting the desert in a soft, almost otherworldly glow, the vast expanse of the Australian outback seemed to hold its breath, waiting for the stories to come alive. The group settled into a comfortable silence, their attention drawn to the crackling fire and the tales it inspired. The fire's warmth seemed to invite the sharing of secrets and memories. One by one, individuals shared snippets of their lives, stories that had been tucked away, waiting for the right moment, the right audience to bring them to life. Each tale was a piece of a larger mosaic, a glimpse into the diverse experiences that shaped them. There was the seasoned traveler, his face etched with the wisdom of countless journeys, who spoke of encountering a rare desert bloom, its delicate beauty a testament to the resilience of life in the face of adversity. His voice carried the weight of years spent wandering the vast landscapes. A young couple, their eyes sparkling with the excitement of shared adventure, recounted their first glimpse of Uluru, the sheer magnitude of the rock reducing them to awestruck silence. Their story was filled with the joy of discovery and the bond of shared experiences. Each story, a thread in the rich tapestry of human experience, was received with empathy and understanding. The firelight cast a warm, inviting glow upon the faces of those gathered, blurring the lines between storyteller and listener, creating a space of shared humanity and connection. Maya listened intently, her own heart swelling with a mix of emotions. She felt a deep connection to the stories being told, as if they were a part of her own journey. She had always been drawn to stories, to the way they could transport you to different worlds, introduce you to different perspectives, and remind you of the shared humanity that connected us all. Each story was a doorway to a new understanding, but there was something magical about stories shared around a campfire, under a star-filled sky with the vastness of the outback as a backdrop. The night sky seemed to listen, adding its own silent narrative to the mix. It was as if the ancient land itself was listening, adding its own energy and wisdom to the tales being told. The stories became a part of the land, echoing through the ages, connecting past and present in a timeless dance. As the night deepened and the fire began to die down to embers, a comfortable silence descended upon the group. It wasn't an awkward or empty silence, but rather a shared space of reflection, a moment to absorb the day's adventures and the stories that had been shared. The vastness of the outback sky, now a canvas of twinkling stars, seemed to amplify the silence, making it feel profound, almost sacred. Maya leaned back against a weathered rock, her gaze drawn upwards to the celestial tapestry above. She had never seen so many stars, each one a tiny point of light in the vast expanse of the cosmos. The Milky Way, a river of stardust stretching across the heavens, was clearly visible, a breathtaking reminder of the sheer scale and mystery of the universe. As she gazed upwards, she felt a sense of awe and wonder wash over her, a feeling of being both insignificant and infinitely connected to something far greater than herself. The silence, far from being empty, was filled with a symphony of subtle sounds, the crackling of the embers, the gentle rustling of the wind through the spinifex grass, the distant howl of a dingo claiming its territory beneath the star-dusted sky. These sounds, woven together, created a lullaby of the outback, a soothing melody that calmed her mind and soothed her soul. It was a silence that spoke volumes, a silence that invited introspection and fostered a deep sense of peace. As the fire burned down to embers, casting flickering shadows that danced across the faces of the sleeping travelers, the night seemed to grow even more serene and magical. Maya found herself reluctant to close her eyes. The night sky, a vast and ever-changing canvas of twinkling stars, held her captive in its awe-inspiring embrace, each star a tiny beacon of light in the infinite darkness. She had never felt so connected to the universe, so aware of her place within the grand scheme of things, feeling a profound sense of unity with the cosmos. The stories she had heard, both ancient and new, swirled in her mind, weaving themselves into the fabric of her dreams, creating a tapestry of wonder and mystery. She thought of the Anangu people, the traditional custodians of this land, and their deep connection to the land, the stars and the stories passed down through generations. Each tale a thread in the rich cultural heritage she imagined their ancestors gathered around similar campfires, sharing stories and laughter beneath the same starlit sky, their voices echoing through time, their connection to this land stretching back millennia, a bond that transcended time and space. In that moment, surrounded by the profound silence of the outback night, Maya felt a sense of belonging she had never experienced before, a deep-rooted connection to the earth and sky. It was as if the stars themselves welcomed her, whispering ancient secrets on the wind, inviting her to release her fears and embrace the unknown, to find solace in the vastness. She closed her eyes, feeling the cool night air on her skin, and breathed deeply, inhaling the scent of the desert, the smoke from the dying fire, and the infinite possibilities that lay ahead, each breath a step into the future. This journey, she realized, was about so much more than just reaching a destination. It was about opening herself up to new experiences, new perspectives, and a deeper understanding of herself and the world around her, a journey of the soul and spirit. The red dust of the outback, clinging to her boots like a memory, accompanied Maya on her journey back to the familiar rhythms of her life, a life that now felt subtly transformed. The silence of the desert, once daunting, now resonated within her as a source of strength and clarity, a newfound inner peace. The memory of Uluru, bathed in the warm hues of sunrise and sunset, became a touchstone, a reminder of the raw power and ancient wisdom held within the heart of Australia, a land that spoke to her soul. The journey to Uluru had been more than a physical trek. It was a pilgrimage into the soul of a land as ancient as time itself, a journey that transcended the physical realm. It challenged her physically, pushing her beyond her self-imposed limitations, revealing a resilience she hadn't known she possessed, a strength that lay dormant within her. It opened her heart to the stories and traditions of the Anangu people, their deep connection to the land a testament to the enduring power of culture and heritage, a bond that transcended generations. Most importantly, it awakened a sense of wonder within her, a profound connection to the natural world and the realization that she was part of something far greater than herself, a vast and intricate tapestry of life. As Maya stepped back into her everyday life, she carried the spirit of the outback within her, a spirit that would guide her in the days to come. The lessons learned, the connections forged, and the sense of awe she had experienced continued to shape her perspective, her values, and her very way of being in the world, influencing her actions and decisions. The journey to Uluru had come to an end, but the transformation it ignited within her had only just begun, a spark that would continue to burn brightly. It was a journey that would continue to unfold, its lessons woven into the fabric of her life, a constant reminder of the beauty, the power, and the enduring spirit of the wild places that called to the depths of her soul, a call she would always heed.